the principal comes on the intercom saying because of testing, we have to do the Pledge of Allegiance in the classroom. And so we all get ready to say it, and she said, well, we're not gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance today, it's the Pledge of Allowance. And we all stopped and we were like, what? And she was like, all right, next. And she just moved on like nothing happened. Just didn't want you to say it, you could tell, and would get angry if you tried to. Kind of like put down, like she didn't care, and that it was just kind of a reality check to just show you that there's people out in the world that really don't care about where they live and who's fighting for their rights and stuff.
My freshman English teacher bullied me incessantly. She got fired because she was letting students letting them use like dad pens and stuff like that. But I was called a lot of names by her. Not very fun. I was called useless a couple times by the teacher. One time she immediately apologized. The second time I just was kind of mumbling underneath her voice. And I was also called the R word, retarded, one time as well. I feel that, for me especially, if I feel like if I disagree with something that they're teaching, just like in the freshman year, they would kind of come after me, or they would start like harassing me.
There was a transgender student that this was a male, still had male parts, I believe was taking estrogen, but did still have male parts, and they were using the women's restroom, which me personally and a lot of my friends just were not comfortable with that, didn't see that as being right. And so we reported on the Stop It app and never got a response, so we went down to the freshman center officer, and he said that he agreed with us because his religion, but can't really talk about it, so he took us to the dean. The dean seemed super understanding, but didn't seem to do much. The school wasn't going to deal with it because there were two other schools at the time that had just been sued and lost, or like they went to court and lost at court. Then I started getting so much like backlash, so many people bullying me. Social media, even at school, face-to-face, people wouldn't necessarily say anything, but they'd give me looks. A few people would like try to stop me from going into one of my classes, because their class was right across the hall, you know. So I had like hundreds of DMs like telling me to kill myself, saying, you're so ugly, you don't deserve this, you know, like everything like that.
It's last week of school. It's middle school, yes. And my friend decided to braid my hair. Why not? And 5 minutes in, the teacher comes up and is like, hey, excuse me, can you take your braids out? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll like take it out. No, I was just confused. And then about 2 minutes later, my friend asked like why, and then the teacher comes up to me and is like, it's offensive towards African American people to have braids in your hair. It's kind of sad that middle schoolers can't braid their hair without having to worry about being offensive to other people. If I've ever felt discriminated, it was in this class. And I always thought it was because of my race, but clearly she's all for equality for everyone, so I just found it confusing. Like, we have our own mind to think for ourselves. We shouldn't be getting brainwashed into learning all this other stuff.